Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and thems and theys, to the podcast Daddy Variety Show, the show that has no rhyme or reason, just things in season. Now here's the host with a wiener to match his demeanor, the podcast Daddy.
There's a common theme I have noticed as in the last, give or take 5 years, and that's nobody is excited for movies or television series that are coming out. Now, I thought this was just a trend of people being, kind of angry at television companies for pushing out the same pandering bullshit that they have been. But then I see companies starting to shut down little networks they have. Like, it was recently announced that the Cartoon Network website was shut down, and it now just moves over straight to the Max website. Now, if you were like me and you were born in the 90s and you had a choice of three major cartoon networks, basically, you had Nickelodeon, Disney Channel sometimes if they were feeling frisky, or the heavy hitter, which was always my favorite, was Cartoon Network. Unfortunately, the website is being shut down, so I can only assume that the actual network of Cartoon Network is going to be not long behind it, coming from streaming sources taking over all of these IPs and putting them up there. Now, as much as I'm happy that they're on streaming sites, I know that means they're going to disappear into time, where the only way you'll be able to find shows like this is through archive.org or the Wayback Machine, which is fucking terrible, because that means it's no longer going to be readily available like it was. You used to be able to turn on a TV show and watch old reruns of shows. But now if I want to watch Ed, Edd n Eddy or Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy or anything from that era, I have to dive so deep into the bowels of the internet to find just a simple one episode of a show that I used to love. Now, you might be wondering, well, how does that tie into people not being excited for shows? Well, people are no longer excited for shows because they're watching everything that they love get taken away and trying to be replaced with new items or new shows or new movies, or just be rewrote into things that didn't make them what was so appealing. Like, God help me if they ever decide to make a new Ed, Edd n Eddy or a new Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. There is going to be a part of me that says this is going to be so bad that I'm going to not like Ed, Edd n Eddy anymore. And it's going to end like that, which is fucking awful. It's terrible. It really destroys morale as a viewer. Now, that's tying in to people not being excited because nothing is intriguing anymore. This last Monday, I watched a movie called Late Night with the Devil. The reason I was so excited about this movie is because it combined my two favorite things. It combined spooky, poltergeist, occult things with late night talk shows. So if you combine those two, obviously I am all ready to be immersed in such a wonderful experience, and I want to be scared but also entertained. And after, I'd say 40 minutes, the movie finally started to pick up. Like, I get you need to build a world. I get you need to build the ambiance of the world. You need to get people into it, understand the themes, understand what's going on. But with a movie, I would expect a 30-minute world-building sequence for a movie that's 2.5 hours long. 2.5 hours, you're giving me 30 minutes of world-building. You're giving me exposition. You're giving me what's going on with the host. You're giving me what's going on with the show. Nope, this movie is an hour and a half, and 40 minutes of that is building up what happened to his show, what happened to his wife, what happened to all of them. And you're like, okay, cool. So the rest of this is just going to be scary thing after scary thing after scary thing after scary thing. I wish it was that. I wish it did that. I wish it gave me spooky, spooky, scary, scary. No, all it gave me was the most minimal horror things to ever happen. It gave a guy who could speak to the dead, talk to the audience, and say, is there a Jimmy? No, Jimmy. Is somebody in here named Brandy? Your name is Brandy? Oh, your husband wants to talk to you. Oh, you're a lesbian? I would have never thought. That's all it was. And then it goes into, a family lost another family member to suicide. And it's like, oh, okay. So we're going to pull the easy card on that. Like, we're not going to do anything that makes you kind of think. And one thing I told my girlfriend while we were laying in bed, I said, I can see the ending of this movie and I hate it. And the first thing, she didn't say, well, what's the ending? She told me to shut up. Simply because she could see it too. And that's one of the terrible things. If I can see the movie coming, like the ending of the movie coming before any of the major plot details are decided to be spoken about, you've already lost me as a viewer of this. Now, it wouldn't be bad. Like I said, beyond the cheesy horror elements or the 30-minute world building, it wouldn't be bad if it didn't fucking drag on. It didn't drag into an ending that was so lackluster and ugh. That's all I could call it. It's just a ugh ending. Ending not bad, but not good. It just felt like I've wasted an hour and a half of my life. That's what pisses people off. And that's where I think the disdain for movie watching has come from. Is so many people are just sick of watching a movie and getting enthralled into a story just for the final sequence or the final ending to just be ugh. I don't understand. We also are hunting for the next big franchise, the next big thing that will be 4 or 5 movies long, the next Marvel universe, the next 3-part trilogy that will captivate audiences all across the globe. Like another movie that recently came out that is a prime example of doing it right is Deadpool and Wolverine. Now, from a numbers perspective, I hate doing this because I think numbers are just a sham used to push it, but that's another topic. I think from a numbers perspective, it got a whopping billion. It made $1 billion in the box office. That is a good movie, but it's not a good movie due to its budget. It's a good movie because the people who make this have listened to the fans, have looked at what the fans want in a movie. And they're like, okay, so this is what they want, and this is what we can work with. Now, can we find a happy medium? Now, with Ryan Reynolds in the showrunner spot, he's like, this is what we can do now. I'm going to throw in what I like and what they like, and we're just going to turn this into a whole movie that's going to make us a fuck ton of money. Now, why Disney has never let this happen until a little screen got leaked, quote unquote, because we know how it happened. Then it started making money. Disney's like, oh, shit. Now we can actually start, letting Ryan Reynolds run things because he's going to make us a fuck ton of money. Now, where was that same enthusiasm when Deadpool 1 came out? Oh, that's right, because it wasn't a Disney thought that pushed a propaganda for no apparent reason except for this will make us a ton of money. And obviously, we've seen how that's been working for you guys. Show after show has been shit canned. There was a big discussion about Deadpool dancing in the beginning of the show compared to She-Hulk twerking with Megan Thee Stallion from the She-Hulk show. And it's like, those are two different areas. Deadpool has been brought up to be this goofy, fourth wall breaking, weird fucking character that didn't use any weapons, but used Wolverine's spine as a weapon. Whereas She-Hulk, all it was brought up to was she's super serious lawyer girl, and that was the main thing that was supposed to be a chuckle, ha to people. That's where the grievance was. So my final little thought on this, if movie studios want us to go back into movie theaters or be excited for movies instead of going straight to Twitter or Reddit or any forum and saying that this is just going to be a pile of hot garbage, I think they need to start listening more to their fans and less to what their shareholders want to say, because shareholders are only there to collect the dollars. And I hate to be, that guy, that stick in the mud, that hole in the ass. But if you don't listen to the people that go and spend their hard-earned money, you're not going to make a single red fucking cent, because nobody's going to pay money for a movie that's trash. Nobody's going to want to... there's going to be nobody that wants to spend their hard-earned money to go watch a movie that when they leave, they're just going to have a feeling of, ugh. All it's going to do is just burn the company to the ground, and then there's layoffs, and then there's less movies, and then nobody gets paid. So think about this next time you want to release a movie that has no traction or from an existing IP and then shit on the fan base. I'm looking at you, Borderlands. You guys took a franchise that was so fucking cool and decided to cast Kevin fucking Hart as Roland, a tall guy, and then make the first joke of the fucking movie. Oh, I'm sorry, my father sent his smallest soldier. Roland is not a small guy. Okay. So yes, if you want to continue making good money and you want people to be excited for movies, then maybe start listening to your fans and not the people that buy stocks in movie companies because they're doing good. Listen to the fans, not the shareholders. I would like to thank everybody for tuning in to another episode. We are moving upload dates to Wednesday. I'm going to leave it at that. We're going to cut it there. Movie upload or podcast episodes are going to be uploaded on Wednesday. If you want to follow my slow descent into madness, go to x.com/enoughsnuff. And we're over on Twitch and Kick streaming Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9:30 p.m. till whenever I get bored. So, everybody, have a wonderful day. Have a great evening. And as always, please, for the love of God, I know it's starting to get cooler, but that don't mean that y'all stink any less. So please, for the love of God, keep your balls clean.